Hey, hi Krishna, how are you?
Hello, hi sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, okay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
saw your message sir in WhatsApp. Yeah, morning.
Sorry, come again. I didn't get you.
I saw your message morning. So in
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was a job. I was, uh, I mean, there was a message from one guy that he's in a LinkedIn. So,
yeah, I saw his profile. So he
Mhm.
done some certification from open text. And
Yeah, I mean, okay, no way. I mean, because I mean, basically that
pharma domain.
the farm, yeah, he's looking a farmer domain and also kind of I mean, that's a very best suitable job for you, I think, because it require less technical, more
Okay,
towards of yeah. I mean, the
business
functional,
analyst. Yeah.
yeah, kind of business side, functional knowledge it is required. So, but I mean, the DA, I mean, the documentum knowledge is required for that, but still, I mean, it is good for you. Uh,
Okay. But I didn't find the JD. But maybe after ending of section we can discuss regarding.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, either you can share. I mean, try to contact that person.
Okay.
And second thing, the best thing is it is based down in Bangalore. So I
Yeah,
mean, they are looking for a Bangalore location. So
yeah, MG Road. I think Teva Pharma. No? MG Road.
yeah. Earlier, I thought that you might be working on the same organization, but
No, 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 no.
you are in Novartis, right?
No, no, no. I'm not working for Novartis. It's some
Mm-hmm.
different biocon company.
Okay. I thought you are in the Novartis.
No, I earlier I was attended, but not this profile.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was attended only for the my work profile, like maybe 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Not this profile. Teva, I plan to attend, but not for this profile because I'm not familiar with this like deep terminology and all. So I have sent my CV also, but the interview was not scheduled. But that is for different profile.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
same company only, but my details, maybe I don't know whether they have deleted or it was there. I don't know. So
Mm-hmm.
just only mail I have sent, but
Okay.
interviews was not scheduled.
Okay.
That is for a different profile, computer
Mm-hmm.
system validation.
Okay.
Okay, so yes,
Okay. Also, I'll keep looking. I mean, if I find, definitely I'll share, because
yeah, no problem.
I'm also, connected with the pharmaceutical companies.
I don't know, sir, which company you are working, but
Hmm.
okay.
So
You're working with, I'm thinking, Ranbaxy, right? Sun Pharma or something.
I'm Ascensia. That's a US based company.
Accenture, no?
Ascensia, ASCENSIA.
Okay. I had never heard that company.
Yeah, I mean, primarily they medical device manufacturing company basically.
Oh, okay, okay. Then it is kind of ISO 13485 guidelines.
Yeah.
Okay,
So okay.
good, good, sir.
Uh, okay. So today we are going to discuss the life cycle part. Yesterday we saw that how the workflow works, what all are object types that plays a role during workflow creation and workflow execution. How we can check that which workflow is pending for which user, status of the workflow, right? Like this. So still, if you have a doubt, I mean, we can discuss one more time. That's not any problem. But still, but before I want you try to go through that.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
Yes, yes.
listen the session again, so that whenever we'll discuss, you'll have a good idea. I mean,
Mm,
so let me share my screen.
okay.
I already I think shared this PPT with you.
Life
So
cycle. Long ago, I think you have shared.
yeah.
Tell 1 minute.
Hmm.
Office only. Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Office call only I received for the
Okay, no
moment.
problem. No problem. I mean, it happens. That's not an issue. Okay, so should we carry on?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so basically, let's discuss about this life cycle part and how it is different from workflow. So, life cycle, somehow you will notice or you will feel that it is similar to the workflow. We are getting same thing. Uh, I mean, if I remove all the manual tasks from the workflow, it is something similar to the life cycle,
Okay, okay.
right? Because system do everything automatically. You
Right,
do it does not require anything from the business end or user end,
right.
right? So life cycle we define basically a life cycle of a particular document. Let's say uh, we have defined the life cycle of document means it has a draft. I mean, then once review, approver, and effective. Let's say these are the four states of document,
Right.
right? So automatically certain things arises, or metadata value arises, or metadata value gets saved to the document. Automatically it will reach to the next state. So if you look at my this screen, let's say we have these author, review, approve, effective, retired. I mean, these all are the states of document. So automatically document will move these state to further state, for further state to further state, once it get following conditions. So in the actually each state, each life cycle state has a particular, I mean, it is divided into two segments. One segment is a entry criteria,
Okay,
right? Entry criteria. And second segment is a action,
okay.
right? So
Mm,
in the entry criteria, where we define the criteria, when the document can come to this state. I
okay,
mean, we define the conditions. So if, I mean, to condition, I mean, that condition should be followed by the documentum, that particular document. If he has, if he is fulfilling that criteria, then then particular document you automatically can enter into that state,
okay,
right? I mean, you do not need to approve, review, or something like this,
okay, okay,
right? So I mean, I'll show you that how to do this. So similarly, if the entry criteria is fulfilled,
okay,
then we write certain actions. Post entry criteria, following actions get performed,
okay.
right?
Yes,
So how we design like this,
okay,
each state has an entry criteria and actions. This state also has an entry criteria and actions. This state also has an entry criteria and actions. So
okay,
what we do, we write actions like that. It should fulfill an entry criteria of other state.
okay,
For example, status, there is a one attribute status. So if status, I mean, let me see. Let's say the entry criteria is status. So if in entry criteria, I mean, let's say for this, let's talk about author and review. Here the entry criteria is,
To criteria is reviewer. Sorry. One.
sorry,
Reviewer.
no, yeah, I mean, we are talking about author and reviewer both.
Okay, okay.
So right now I'm defining entry criteria for reviewer. The entry criteria for reviewer is uh, the status must be author.
Okay.
Let's say, right, right, uh, right. This is the entry criteria, correct, for this review. And the entry criteria for author is uh, status should be draft, correct. Then I told
Yeah.
you, I mean, this is the entry criteria,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Now I told you, I mean, the each states each state,
Okay.
I mean, author or review, both state are divided into two segments. One is the entry criteria, second is the action. Once the document enter into that state, following actions performed. So here I mean, on as a action, what we do, update status of document to author, right?
Yeah.
Here what we are saying, I mean, as an action, we updated the status of this document from draft to author,
Okay.
correct. And the entry criteria for this status, I mean, the entry criteria for this I mean, entry criteria for this review. So now we are defining entry criteria for this review. Entry criteria is status should be author, correct.
Yeah.
And the action should be uh, update status to approve from author.
Okay.
Did you notice something?
So it is.
I mean, if you look at here, here the entry criteria was a status.
Okay.
Sorry, entry criteria
Wow.
status was a draft, and as an action, once the document come to this state, I mean, because it fulfilling the entry criteria, we update its status value to author.
Okay.
I mean, the attribute, there is a attribute called status. We updated that value
Mm.
from draft to author. So automatically, because if once the document status become author, it is start fulfilling the entry criteria of this, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Automatically it will reach to this because I mean, the document just look whether it's fulfilling the entry criteria for next or not. If it is fulfilling, immediately it will come to this. So as an action, we are updating again status. Again by default, it will move here. Again by automatically it will move here. Uh, are you getting my point? What I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah.
So they,
So
so therefore it's automatic. The things gets happens automatically because as an action we try to create entry criteria for other state,
okay.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So therefore it is called a automation,
Okay.
right?
But even workflow also comes as an automation.
Exactly, but workflow is also a automation, but the human intervention is required. I mean, if in the workflow, in the workflow
Okay.
I mean, therefore I'm trying to make you what is the difference between like this. In the workflow it is
Okay.
not like that each state is dependent on other. Here if you do not
Uh,
update action with this entry criteria, always the document will move stay here. Are you getting my point?
yeah.
Because we are updating action, but in case of workflow there is no such kind of dependency. Workflow move here there. Let me show you the workflow. So I mean, we have a direct states. I mean, it's a directly, it can go in a linear way,
Okay.
because there's, I mean, we cannot define like this here, we cannot define the conditions.
Okay. Okay.
Right, here's the linear things, linear and passive. Passive, because why I'm saying passive, internally just one action is updating entry criteria for other. Second, as reach to the next state, automatically there's an action that get performed on the document, and update the conditions, like, so that that document can fulfill the entry criteria for other state. Correct.
Yeah.
Now one, we are actions, automatically we can perform these actions.
Yeah.
I mean, right, either we can write actions automatically, I mean, we can write generate actions here, or we can let workflow perform these actions.
Okay.
I mean, action is what, the metadata value should be up to that value. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, the system automatically check whether it fulfilling the entry criteria. Fulfilling entry criteria means the whether that metadata has that particular value or not. As it gets that value, immediately it move to the another thing. Right, now, either that value is updated by the this action, or by a code, or by a workflow, any medium, anyway. I mean, it's up to you how you are going to update those value.
Okay.
I mean, through the workflow also we can update the value. We can write auto activity can update the value.
Okay.
I mean, at the backend we can write a dequal, to update a code, update that particular attribute. So we can action can be performed like that. I mean, either by this or by that, anyway. But this is the thing.
Okay.
Now, as I was saying, this is a passive because you do not need to intervene any here. Automatically, action get performed. I mean, automatically things are reaching from one location, one to the another, one to another, one to another. But in the workflow, you have to log in. I mean, the active things are there. I mean, manual intervention is required.
Okay.
I mean, approver log in and approve the document. The reviewer log in, the review the document. Correct. I mean, here there is no manual intervention is required. Correct.
Yeah, it will go automatically once it is.
Yeah, it will go automatically. Or see, there is the option the promote and demote.
Yeah. Yes, yes, I heard that.
Yeah, promote and demote. But it is not like that user has to log in. That can be achieved via, programmatically.
Okay.
I mean, through the workflow, we can promote and demote. I mean, once it fulfill, promote it. It will be promoted if it fulfilling the entry criteria. I mean, let's say author try to promote a document to the review, right? So document only can be promoted if it is fulfilling the entry criteria for other this state, right? If it is not fulfilling the entry criteria of the another state, then it will start throwing error,
Okay.
because it required that status equals to review, but right now status is the document status is equal to draft is there. So it will start throwing error. So for I mean, in case if document status is not updating, and it is getting updated through the life cycle, then you need to check whether the whether that conditions are getting followed, I mean, are followed or not. I mean, that things are getting fulfilled or not. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is a kind of a overview of a life cycle. Let's discuss in detail.
Okay.
What is a life cycle? Life cycle is a set of states. These all are the states of document, uh, right? And from these states are defined from initial to end.
Okay.
I mean, right?
Yes.
So we can define life cycle from initial to end. So if you see, I mean, if you talk about the life cycle, document initially get draft,
Yes. Next,
then
the
then if
author.
yeah, authoring. I mean,
And
authoring is a workflow. Once the authored, it again remain a draft.
correct, correct, correct.
Then reviewed. I mean, first of all, when is in review workflow that the status is in review, then reviewed, then in approval, then approved, then release pending, and then effective.
Okay.
These are the following states of life cycle. For life cycle, if I talk about, let me show you. I mean, tell you again. First, it is draft. Then, I mean, after authoring, it is still remain draft. So that is it. I mean, that workflow does not update the status or does not change the states. Then, uh, in review, then reviewed, approval, then I mean, once it release pending, then effective, then superseded, right? Following are the states of life cycle, correct?
Yes.
So I told you what is the entry criteria in action. It includes action to be performed on the object and is change state from one state to another, because because action takes plays a role to change the status. If we do not update, I mean, action does not update a value, a metadata value, then it will not start fulfilling the entry criteria for other state, correct? Are you getting my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. Means action should be performed like
Right.
on the object. Means everything we are working for the object only, either it is a document or something.
Right.
But so this actions will be performed when it's changes from one state to other state. So there will be no interruption until if the person is means approval process under comes as workflow. But this is a continuous series of process where the manual intervention will be less. Hello?
Correct, correct.
The automated task,
Automated is
yeah, automated and also uh, okay,
so two
yeah,
things need to
and
be
also
taken.
it looks at the entry criteria.
Correct, action and entry criteria. Now, I told you that it's in a linear manner. It goes in a linear manner because I mean, here we are defining S1, S2, S3, S4. These are the states. So I mean, initially document comes into the documentum. It start with the base state and reach up to end state, right? But sometimes, I mean, document is going like this: review, approve, effective. But sometimes, I mean, we have to hold the document for temporarily purpose.
Okay,
That time we cannot say the document is in this state,
okay,
right? Let's say the approver reject a document,
okay,
right? So the document is rejected and it by default go to the author,
okay,
right? I mean, we have a design like this, the workflow that approver reject it, it goes to the, but what is the state at that time? Whether we can say is in approval? No, because
no,
approver has rejected it. We can't say it approved because approval has rejected it. We can't say it in draft because draft document is always sent by author for here.
okay,
So that document, I mean, that is a particular suspension. I mean, the document is suspended for active life cycle states.
okay,
Therefore, this that particular temporary hold or temporary suspension is called a exceptional state, right? So exceptional state where the we hold the document temporarily,
okay,
right? Or I mean permanently also we can do this. I mean if we have no system, I mean once the document is rejected, is always be rejected. User has to create a fresh document.
Okay.
If we have a requirement like that, that time it's a permanent suspension. But
Okay.
temporary suspension, because document again move to the coordinator, and coordinator revisit the document and send it again into the system. So I mean multiple exception state, because I mean it's depend on where we want that exceptional state. I mean for example we have a given option. I mean after review also that can be hold, after approval that also can be hold, after effective that might not, retire that might not. So that kind, the exceptional state can be a one or many. I mean it could be a multiple exceptional state, right? And resumption, I mean the document gets resumed from not to I mean from exception to normal state, right? I hope you are getting my point. I mean this,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Resumption means it is
just
resuming
exactly
from the exception to, I mean, coming back to the normal state.
normal state, right?
So we used to do that. I think maybe
Right,
there's any mistake in the document, immediately we'll
correct. So
about that
mhm.
or tell
Now state changes, I mean when the state changes occurs, state changes occurs when object get promoted to the next state, right? So each state change in a life cycle can be configured based on the entry criteria, as I told you, and the actions performed. What all actions can be performed? We can update the property value as an action. We can change the ownership. Ownership means owner name, owner underscore name, right? We can even we can update the ACL, and even we can update the folder. I mean their location. I mean let's say the document is in folder A earlier, we can change it folder to B. I mean as an action. Are you getting my point?
yeah, yeah, actions. Okay,
Right.
operation.
Ownership. I mean these all are the attribute. I mean if you
Yeah,
basically
yeah. You
metadata.
entered it.
I mean so metadata can be updated as an action.
Okay.
Right. So I mean these all are the various after the end state. When the state is end, the document cannot be beyond, go beyond, or cannot be promoted beyond that state, right? So or before I mean initially we define that what all the states are there. Oh, right. And it is not like that. I mean see, we have a S1 that directly can be promoted to S3 or S4 like this. I mean these
Yes.
this is showing,
Sorry, sir.
I mean this is showing that rejection.
Yeah.
I mean temporarily, I mean if it get rejected, temporarily suspend it. After suspension, we define that where it will go.
Yeah.
Also suspension, generally I mean sometimes we call it demotion as well.
Okay.
These all are the action and entry criteria.
Okay.
So entry criteria, let's say, I mean this there is a two states, approver and effective. Here we define entry criteria: version level should be review, and author must be equals to Olivia. I mean if the metadata has such a value,
Okay.
then document can enter to the approve state.
Okay.
And as an action, once it entered, what this action will be performed on the document, what it'll do, it will change the version label to approve. I mean there is a one attribute version label, it get changed whatsoever value it was previously to approve, and the document will move to the approved folder
Mm-hmm.
as an action. I mean, the action will be performed and it will do this with the document.
Okay. That's
And right. So similarly, if you look at the entry criteria for effective state, version level contains approved.
mm-hmm.
See, here as an action, we updated the version level, and we made entry criteria for effective. If the version level is approved, then it can reach to this state. So these action is creating a ground for reaching to this entry criteria. Are you getting my point? Correct. So actions, entry criteria, these are the important things for that. How I mean, what all as I told you, I mean, in action, what all are the things available as an action? Access permission. I mean, earlier, let's say the team has a write permission, world has a union permission. Here we can update. Particular user has a write permission. I mean, we can update the permissions. We can update a property keyword earlier draft. We can update this. Ownership can be updated. Location can be updated. Property constraint we can apply, right? Like this. Now, how it works? I mean, technically, how it works. Generally, it depends on the DLA concept, document lifecycle automation, right? There are certain APIs that takes care for this, right? So we have a promote and demote APIs. I mean, either we can promote and demote through API. I mean, through coding, always it gets done. I mean,
okay.
at the backend. I mean, this is all of the backend thing. I mean, you need to write a code or you need to do achieve this thing at the backend.
Okay. 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I was telling you that it based on the DLA. Once we define the life cycle, it gets saved into the repository as a DM underscore policy.
Okay. Policy. Oh,
Right. DM underscore policy. And that was a DM underscore process. Correct. So DM underscore policy. We create. Generally, we create the design this life cycle in Composer. There is a tool called Composer. We do it. I'll show you that. And once we save it, it is gets saved as a DM underscore policy. And how it gets applied? It gets applied uh, via code, or you can attach via API. Right. Attach APIs is there. The lifecycle attached with the document via attach API. Once it attached, so initial, I mean the document come to this S1 state and move to the other states based on the entry criteria. Right.
wait.
So if we apply how we apply a life cycle and what needs to be take care, user must have a relate permission on the document. For example, if you are trying to apply a life cycle on a particular document, then you must having a minimum relate permission. Correct.
Mm,
Minimum relate permission.
mm,
One life cycle, I mean, for example, in the system so many life cycles are there. I mean, for different purpose you have created, but at a time only a one life cycle can be applied with the document. Also, for example, we have a different version of a life cycle, a version of a document. Let's say document has a 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So document 1.0 can have a different life cycle, 2.0 can have a different life cycle. Correct? So because life cycle is applied to a particular object, and every version, let's say, I mean, there is a one document, right? It document has a three version: 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Each version would have a different R object ID.
Okay.
But how would we know that and these this is the they are, I mean, these three versions are related with the same document?
Okay. Mm. Based on the object, no, object ID.
Object IDs always be different because each object
Object
documentum,
ID.
yeah, I mean, documentum consider every object as an individual object.
Okay.
So whether it has a three version, they will have a three different object IDs.
Okay.
There is a one I chronicle ID, one
Mm.
attribute.
Yes, yes, I have seen. There it is.
Chronic, right? Chronicle ID that has a R object ID of parent. Parent. Parent means, for example, I mean, let's say document is, 1.0 is there. Then we created a 1.1. Then we create a 1.2. I mean, 2. Then 1.3, like this, right? Then every, I mean, here it is a R object ID. I mean, right? I mean, R object ID will equal would be a R chronicle ID, right? Then here R chronicle ID would be R object ID of 1.0. Similarly, here R chronicle ID of this. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say? See, so then we can say these all are the my versions of 1.0 because R chronicle ID having a R object ID of this one. Similarly, I chronicle ID having a value of this one, same first one.
Okay, okay. So it is maintained different versions also. The object will be the same, but it will helps to maintain the different versions of the document. One single
Exact,
object it will
correct,
the all the versions of the object.
correct. And how it maintains like this. So if someone asks you that, I mean, that's it's okay. I chronicle ID is but what would be the value of I chronicle ID in that case? The first, I mean, the initial version of document.
Okay.
Let's say if initial version is 1.0, then every document would have a 1.0 or object ID of 1.0. Like this, you can explain to the interviewer.
No, means Documentum internally maintains such values or how it is.
Documentum, I mean, we do not maintain.
Okay.
Internally, these value gets maintained by internally. See, I mean, so this I told you what is needed. The life cycle can have can be attached with the different versions. Life cycle is having with the relate. I mean, relate permission is required with the life cycle to apply a document, promote and demote. Correct.
Okay.
Now there is a role of extended permission, right? If you see that we have a one extended permission, right? We discussed this change underscore state. That time I told you the person having this extended permission can change life cycle state of one document state to another state.
Okay.
I mean, that user can promote or demote a document,
Okay.
right? So this permission is required,
Okay.
right? Means either you have a relate permission or you have a this extended permission.
Okay.
If you are trying to attach a document with the life cycle,
Okay.
either you have a relate permission or you have a change state permission. Though code is written at the back end,
Okay.
see, you do not I mean right click and attach a life cycle or like this.
Okay.
In the D2 as well, the code is written at the back end. Automatically life cycle is attached.
Okay.
But if you do not have a that permission, then life cycle starts throwing error that you do not have a sufficient permission and your document will not be imported. I mean, how the
Okay.
life cycle is attached. Once you as you import a document, automatically as you import a document at the end, uh, it attach a life cycle. I mean, the code is written like this way. If the user upload a document, automatically one life cycle is would be attached with the document, right? But if that if you do not have sufficient permission, then lifecycle will not be attached because it requires a relate permission or this extended permission, and you do not have that extended permission or that particular permission. That time it will not be workable, it will not work.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
You know that the permission is also required as per ACL.
Right. So you should be take care that you have a sufficient permission.
Like a permissive permission. I would say.
Correct. That is a mostly, I mean, you may either you can make it right. Right is a maximum, then
Yeah.
okay. Also, I mean, we can update the security in life cycle. So for example, I mean, try to understand this concept. There is a document we define the permissions like this, right? Let's say Sarah, you know, upload a document, right? And in the life cycle, I mean, this state, it is written that there is a one user Tom, let's say.
Okay.
Tom would have a write permission.
Okay.
I mean, the write permission will be added to the Tom. But Sarah does not have a sufficient permission on the document. I mean, because Sarah is having only a relate permission.
Okay.
But internally, the I mean, it is trying to update a Tom's permission as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, to update a permission, Sarah must also, delete permission,
Okay.
because right, or Sarah should be a owner of document, right? Either super user or owner can update a ACL, right? I mean, if you remember the concept, who can update the ACL? I told you, I mean, either owner or super user can update the ACL.
Correct.
So here, the Sarah is not a owner. Sarah is having a relate permission. He can just move the document. But in the condition, if in the condition, such condition is written, right, to update the permission of a particular user, then still lifecycle will fail
Okay.
because Sarah does not have a sufficient permission and lifecycle is trying to update the particular another user's permission. Therefore, it will get failed.
Okay.
right?
Mm.
So therefore, I mean, if such a condition arises, I mean, right? So you need to look into the back end, uh, whether the permission is getting met by the particular user or not user.
Okay, okay.
I mean, because see, user says that he, I mean, still document is not updated.
So we need to go to users property.
Yeah, you need to check
That,
the properties, check
that's
the right.
information.
Even you, yeah, before, and also you need to study the life cycle as well. I mean, what all are conditions written in the life cycle? You need to
Oh,
check the code.
okay.
Code in the sense the particular life cycle. I mean, what all our actions are defined for in the life cycle.
Okay.
So this is all. I mean, right? So we should give. So what we can give. I mean, increase the SARA permission. This here. I mean, if you just read this business case, we update the right permission of SARA and then it start working, right? Because you should have a right or particular permission to update the permission.
Okay.
Same way, how to design this is the screens way how we can design that. I'll show you the practically,
Okay.
so you can have a look, right? Once we designed, let's say, I mean, through this we designed the template, right? I mean, this process life cycle. After that, we save the life cycle, right, and install the life cycle into the Documentum. So again, it has a three steps. Each draft, I mean, once we are designing a life cycle, I mean, in the draft state we're designing, then we validate. I mean, whether there is a error or not, no error. I mean, whether every cycle has a link applied, everything is proper. If there is no proper, it will throw error, right? So it should be validated. Once it validated, then it got installed. So once it got installed, it create a object of dm underscore process. So this is a about the life cycle. Just try to go through this ppt, and so that you'll have an idea, and tomorrow I'll practically display you how the life cycle works.
Okay.
We'll create a life cycle, we try to save it into a Documentum, and we'll execute this life cycle or particular document as we did for the workflow. There you'll have an idea, right?
Okay.
Okay. Anything, if you have any query, I mean, even you can note it down or post me the queries so that we can discuss, right? For weekend, is early morning okay for you? I mean, when do you get back up wake up?
Yeah,
Because,
you tell me, sir. You are
sorry,
your available time. You tell me that I can.
I mean, if I say 6:37, is it fine for you? Even I don't want to ruin your morning because you work for late nights.
It's better. Means yeah. I need
Either, I mean, again, otherwise we have a evening.
7:30 is fine.
Morning,
Yeah.
Saturday morning 7:30. Okay, so give me a today's time. I will check. I mean,
No,
because
I'm okay with the 6:30 also, but
yeah.
actually I need to go to temple and right.
Oh, great. I mean, generally same thing is with me as well. I mean, but also nowadays, I am just, I mean, rushing for my child admission because the school timing is around 8 to 11 or something like this.
Oh, okay, okay. Otherwise, I don't have problem. Then
Yeah,
I'll do one thing. 6 o'clock only they will open.
yeah. Or otherwise, I mean, for example, what we'll do, though we will connect it on the WhatsApp, but in case, I mean, though we will, we'll decide on Friday.
Yeah, yeah. I will try because I will woke up at 5:30 or
Yeah,
somewhere. Then I will finish it off. So
Okay, you go to the
6:30,
temple and come back around
that
at
is
what time?
30 or 6:40 I will come back. And
Okay, you're 6:40, so you are saying that 7:30. Okay, let me see if we can make it 7:30. Then definitely.
no, no, 6:40 means I will, yeah, attend, no problem. But still, I will ping you.
Okay,
Make myself available.
okay, because we need to ping this Akhil or this their team as well so that they can start the session.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah,
they are yeah.
they told that 24 by 7 they will work.
Okay.
Means they're not, I till not there also some other person will be there like that.
Yeah, I mean whatsoever because they only have a rights to start the session.
Ah, that is correct. That is correct. We
Mhm.
need to give the pre-intimation prior,
Right, right.
prior to.
Okay, and then that case, okay. See you. I mean, tomorrow we'll see. I mean, at what time, and accordingly we can have.
So tomorrow, okay, tomorrow, okay, yeah,
Tomorrow
evening.
is a Friday, right? Yeah.
I will be back. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Thank
Bye.
you.